Hey, it's time to update our 2024-25 travel guide for people that are looking to fly into Ixtapa-Zihuatanejo. There are a few changes for this season, so let's get into it. First, if you haven't been to the Ziwa airport recently, there's a new airport lounge in the departure area. If you have a priority pass or another credit card with OMA lounge access, then this is great news for you. If you don't have lounge access and want it, I'll have a link in the notes to a credit card that offers airport lounge access all over the world. Our little airport here has made other improvements with an outdoor bar as you exit the airport and a few more dining and shopping options inside the terminal. Right now, we're completely off season and flights are very limited. If you want to come here in late summer or early fall, the direct flights are limited to Houston, Los Angeles, Tijuana, Mexico City, and Queretaro. So here are the airports for the next year that will fly direct into Zihuatanejo. Most of the high season flights start in early November or early December and run into April, May. I count only 3 domestic destinations, 4 Canadian destinations, and 7 US destinations. In alphabetical order: Calgary, 3 to 4 flights per week starting in November on Westjet. Chicago, weekly direct on United Air, starts January 4th. Dallas, multiple flights per week through American Airlines for much of the year, although flights are currently paused until the 1st of November. Guanajuato, no flights. Volaris canceled this route earlier in the year. Houston, multiple flights per week through United Air for most of the year. Los Angeles, twice weekly to daily during high season, depending on the time of year, obviously, and that's through Alaska Air. Mexico City, multiple daily flights via Aeromexico, Viva Aerobus, and Volaris. Minneapolis, 2 to 3 flights per week from December 11th to April 13th on Sun Country. Montreal, Sunday and Tuesday flights on Air Canada start in December. Phoenix, multiple flights per week through American Air for most of the year. San Diego, no flights. Alaska Air, they canceled this route after last season, so you need to drive to Tijuana if you want to fly here direct. San Francisco, Saturday flights start in November on Alaska Air. Queretaro, they have 2 flights per week on Volaris. Toronto, Saturday flights start in November on Air Canada. Vancouver, they'll have Fridays on Westjet and Tuesdays on Air Canada. That starts in December. That's it for the direct flights. Alaska Air, they also did fly to Ziwa from Chicago last season, but they stopped that route in addition to the San Diego flight, unfortunately. We did have a Monterey direct flight at one point, but Viva Aerobus, they do fly 3 times per week to Monterey through Mexico City's other airport, Felipe Angeles International Airport. On these particular flights, you have a very short layover of 30 minutes and you don't get off the plane in Mexico City. And you can get tickets on this flight for as little as 2,500 pesos round trip. Felipe Angeles Airport also has a bus terminal on site, unlike the other much larger, more common Mexico City airport, the Benito Juarez International Airport. Felipe Angeles is still a big airport. It's the 10th largest in Mexico with over 2.5 million passengers per year. And it's only been open to civilian air traffic for 3 years. So if you're flying to Mexico City and then taking a bus onto another city like Puebla or Cuernavaca, then you may want to fly via Viva Aerobus and then just make the bus connection direct at the airport. As I mentioned before, we lost the Guanajuato direct flight, but Viva Aerobus does fly to Leon, Guanajuato through Felipe Angeles Airport, and it has just a 90-minute layover. So in total, I think it's like 3.5 hour travel time, and it starts around 2,500 pesos round trip. Overall, Felipe Isla serves about 30 domestic destinations and 10 international destinations. When you book with Viva, Aerobus, or Volaris, remember they're budget airlines. So keep in mind that the initial ticket price that is displayed will be like 300 pesos. And then when you select the flight, they're going to add 1,500 pesos in taxes. And if you want an overhead bin bag or check a bag, that's another 500 pesos, 800 pesos, whatever, and so on. So it's kind of an annoying and complicated way to buy plane tickets. But, the good thing is that it does give us more flight options. Mexico City's main airport, Benito Juarez, connects with 64 international destinations and 50 domestic cities. So just a 45-minute flight away from us, and you can really reach a lot of places. From Zihuatanejo, I've seen round trip flights to places like Madrid, $800, Paris for $1,000, Santiago, Chile, or Lima, Peru for around $700, Bogota for $550, Costa Rica is like $350. So for those of you that live here or are here 6 months or more out of the year, then you can get a flight out of Ziwa for a semi-reasonable amount. And within Mexico, there are hundreds of cities worth visiting by plane or by bus or by car and exploring. Last year was the busiest on record for the Zihuatanejo airport. We had over 650,000 passengers. So it's awesome to see how many people are discovering the city and planning trips to the area. I know our guests sometimes want to keep things kind of quiet. They don't want the secret to get out and how awesome we are. But I don't think we're going to turn into Puerto Vallarta anytime soon. For those of you looking to book a flight this season, and hopefully this helps you out. All right, thanks a lot. We'll see you down here. Take care.
Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe.